I have two brief questions I'd like to ask, if I may.
Hi, welcome to Left Foot Media. My name is Brendan Malone and you're watching The Daily Question. Today's question of the day, who was right, Aragorn or Rose Tico? Now the reason I'm asking that question is because yesterday the official Star Wars Twitter account tweeted out the following quote from Rose Tico. "That's how we're going to win, not fighting what we hate, saving what we love." And the hashtag they included with it was Wednesday Wisdom. Now, this isn't wisdom, because for a saying to be wise, it has to actually be true. This saying isn't true. It's actually a logical fallacy. It's what we call a false dichotomy. She has set up this idea that saving what you love is something in opposition to fighting what you hate, when in actual fact that's not true. Because often, in order to save what you love, you have to fight against what you hate. So it's a false contradiction she's setting up here. Let me give you an example. If I said to you, do you love virtue? And you said, yes, I do love virtue. And I said, do you love the virtue of loyalty? And you said, yes, I do. And then I said, well, what do you hate? And you said, well, I hate the vice of being disloyal. And then I said to you, okay, so how do you save what you love? Like in this case, it's the virtue of loyalty. How do you save that virtue in your life? Well, you save that virtue by fighting against the vice of disloyalty, the evil of being disloyal. So in order to save what you love, you have to fight against what you hate, right? This ain't rocket science. Now, it got me thinking when I thought about how unwise and absurd this whole quote was, and especially some of the context in which this happened in the film The Last Jedi. It got me thinking about that speech that Aragorn gave at the end of The Lord of the Rings, when they're standing there at the Black Gate and they're in grave danger here, and their friends, the thing they love, these two little hobbits, are in the heart of Mordor. They're at the pinnacle of their mission when all could go horribly wrong, because they are now about to be seen by the great evil of Sauron. And so in order to protect them from this evil, Aragorn forms an army, a small army. He's outnumbered by a much more powerful force, and he takes that army into battle. In order to do what? He fights against the evil, the thing they hate, in order to save the thing that they love, right? That's what he's doing. And this is the speech that he delivers at the Black Gate to that small assembled group of men who are getting ready to fight. And I'm going to read this because it's a really well-written speech and I don't want to get any of it wrong. "Sons of Gondor, of Rohan, my brothers, I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. An hour of wolves and shattered shields, when the age of men comes crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we fight. By all that you hold dear on this good earth, I bid you stand, men of the West." And it got me thinking, imagine if Rose Tico was there when that speech was delivered. And Aragorn has just delivered this rousing speech, preparing this small group of men to fight against what they hate in order to save what they love. And all of a sudden there's this little voice, excuse me there, Mr. Aragorn, it's me down here. Yeah, my name's Rose Tico, and I really loved what you had to say there. Very, very rousing speech. It was really good. But if I may, there's just one little thing I think that needs a bit of correction there. When you said today we fight, that's actually not correct, because I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but we're not going to win by fighting what we hate. We're going to win by saving what we love. And then Aragorn looks at her and he says, sorry, I'm not sure who wrote you or who you are or what you're doing in this mythological tale, but what you just said makes no sense at all. In fact, what you've said is totally contradictory. In fact, what you've just said actually is exactly what I've just said. We've got to save what we love, and the way we're going to save what we love here, Rose, is by fighting against what we hate. And if we don't fight against what we hate, then we're not going to save what we love. And if we don't save what we love, none of us win, okay? So thanks for your input, Rose, but I think we'll handle this from here. Excuse me, Mr. Aragorn, just one more thing there. I really feel that was a little bit problematic. This is current year now, and that felt like mansplaining, and I really feel that you're not quite getting what I'm saying here, that this is all about saving what we love. It's not about fighting what we hate. Let me stop you there, Rose. Just thanks again for more of that input. But I tell you what, you seem like a really lovely lady. But you also seem like you might be a little bit new to this whole thing. And so what I'd suggest you do is just perhaps head down the back of the line here where some of the more inexperienced fighters are. There's some guys there who can help you out and sort of point you in the right direction. But just leave us adults to do all the heavy lifting up the front here, and we'll take care of things if that's all right. Now, where was I? And then he gets back to his speech. That's right, today we fight. And then off they go. They charge at the Black Gate. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, from one of their flanks, comes Rose Tico riding a giant elephant, and she smashes into them, wipes them all out, and Aragorn is lying there on the ground, and she walks up to him, and then she says to him, I told you, Mr. Aragorn, we don't win by fighting what we hate. We win by saving what we love, but you wouldn't listen to me. You wouldn't listen. Now, sorry, I just added that last little bit for a bit of a flourish, but you get the point, how absurd that would be, and why Aragorn is right, and why Rose Tico and what she is saying is wrong. Not only is it wrong, but the writing of that whole aspect of The Last Jedi was so terribly flawed. This is a film which starts with Rose Tico's sister actually fighting what she hates in order to save what she loves. And then Rose Tico herself in that whole sequence is willing to smash into Finn and potentially kill both of them, right? Why? Because she's fighting against what she hates, which is, I guess, people needlessly sacrificing themselves. She hates that so much. And in order to save what she loves, she's willing to risk both their lives. And then on top of that, this happens just moments after Holdo has sacrificed herself fighting against what she hates in order to save what she loves. So not only is it logically false, it's not wisdom, it's an absurdity, but it's also so badly written. Now, some people have said, hold on a minute, isn't this like Luke Skywalker in the last sequence of Return of the Jedi when he throws down his lightsaber and he refuses to carry on fighting against Darth Vader? No, it's nothing like that at all. When Luke Skywalker throws down his lightsaber, he hasn't stopped fighting. He's now fighting the Emperor in a different way. He's doing exactly what Finn was about to do. He is willing to sacrifice himself in order to save what he loves, and through his sacrifice, he is engaged in a form of warfare against the thing that he hates. Evil. In actual fact, Finn is more like Luke in that scene, and Rose would be this character who appears out of nowhere, hits Luke on the side of the head, knocks him unconscious, and then says, Luke, Luke, I just need to explain to you that we're not going to win this, my friend, if we fight against what we hate. We've got to win this by saving what we love, and I'm saving you. It just doesn't make any sense. There's a reason why Aragorn's speech resonates, and why what Rose said doesn't. There's a reason why when you hear that speech from Aragorn, something in your chest begins to swell and you say to yourself, yeah, he's right. Of course he's right. And the reason that it resonates and the reason that you know that it's right is because what he is saying is true and what he is saying is good. And on top of that, it's well written. But when you hear Rose Tico and you see what she's just said in the context of the film, you realise it's absurd, it's not true, it's not wisdom, and not only that, but it's really, really badly written. The floor is now open. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you like the content I'm creating and you'd like to see more of it, then please support me on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. That's right, I can hear my theme music too. I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily Question.